presented by Chevrolet.
When you're a mom, you get a front row seat to the best show in town, watching your kids grow up. I wanted to be the mom that had her arms wide open, just waiting for you to fall in if you needed it. And somehow, we just never got there, did we? But I know we had moments, you and me. I feel it in my bones.
I think like any mother, Rebecca wants her children to lead happy, healthy lives.
Since we're in all these different time periods, is we can see Rebecca like learning behavior from her mother and then doing the same thing to Kate, but trying so hard the whole time to just act with love.
Everyone was going through something differently, and I think that's again what really throws everything off for Rebecca, because she has to rack her brain and think back along the lines of like their entire childhood.
Yeah, that they saw it so differently.
Then she saw it and how she experienced it and felt it. And yeah, especially as kids, it's like I think we don't have like the enough emotional information. We don't know who we are enough to sort of really, you know, let that kind of come to fruition.
Number one! Is there nothing number one can't do?
My entire childhood, I always felt like I came in second. I just developed this voice in my head that would just sort of repeat saying, "You're not enough." And I tried to drown that voice out with things like football or acting or fame. And I think it was only a matter of time before I turned to something worse. I think losing Dad the way we did, when we did, it's so much a part of this, you know, of all of us. Kevin has this, he's got a lot of work to do. Yeah. He's got a lot of people to thank, but he's got a lot of people to like apologize to.
Yeah.
And it's not just Band-Aids that he's putting on. It's like he's got to really sort of dig his heels in. He's got to do the real work.
Everything that I think Kevin's tried, he's been really good at. It's like, yeah, effortless.
There's a lot of pressure that comes with being quote unquote number one, and also literally number one.
Kevin always presented as a kid as like the good,
pillar
like,
of strength.
All-American football player, you know, who just seemed good.
Yeah.
And like he didn't need the same level of like intricate attention that the others did.
He has forgotten who he is without that. He's describing how other people sort of see him.
Right.
And that's kind of like how he saw himself, or so he got lost in that and sort of forgot who he was, lost his identity, which is kind of, well, dangerous, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. I know I can do this. I'm just gonna have to work my way up.
If I don't get in, I think it'll crush me. But I just could not deal with disappointing you on top of that.
It's not about jinxing. This is about hope. How can I be this sad? I have a lot of things mixed up with food. And I thought that my issues were kind of obvious, but I don't know.
Because I love you more than I can bear, Buck.
We all fill voids differently, and Kate's is obviously an external void. She had never thought it would ever happen that she'd find a man who loved her as much as Toby does, and then to actually conceive was a really huge deal. And I think there's so much shame around miscarriage, and I think it's great that they've decided, regardless of the outcome, that they were going to be stronger for it.
You feel a difference in Kate, like you feel a confidence in her singing, and you feel sort of a deepness in her relationship with Toby that wouldn't have been possible if she hadn't done sort of the work that she's done already.
Right.
I'm a perfectionist, so that's kind of my bag, you know? And I fail, and the failure leads to self-doubt and self-loathing. I can't believe I thought I was gonna win this girl over.
You care too much. You always have.
I was fine with that.
What's up? I've got this big, amazing, beautiful life. I have fun too, foster dad. And if I'm seeing me in you, I think that means it's gonna happen for you too. He wants everything to just be so perfect. And like anytime you introduce Randall to something that is sort of beyond his control, he's got so many other things that he has to give over to and make peace with and recognize that like this is going to be what it is.
I like watching you guys figure it out, I will say. And we have an opportunity of that with Randall because there are so many firsts for you guys as adults. From the pool with the Do we do the sunscreen, his hair, his, you know, the friends that he has, and just being accepted as an equal in the family, being called one of the three and not the twins and, you know?
Right. Randall's just trying so hard. He needs to be liked. He's like, he doesn't matter if it's a kid or an adult, like whether it's his brother or this little girl who's now in his house. He's like, I'm a good guy.
You are a miracle.
You know that, Jack? Coming from your dad.
And being the dad that you are a friggin' miracle.
I was 25 when I got drafted to Vietnam. When I got back, I was off balance. I have a drinking problem. I never wanted to disappoint you. But I have to be honest with you guys. Because I need you guys. I think we've seen a lot of glimpses of a lot of Jack's pain, and now we start to, as you always say, this kind of unpack the bag.
Yeah.
You know, and understand what it is that is clouding Jack's heart and causing him to have to deal with things from his past that he's kept packed away, tucked away, and not needing or not wanting to bring up.
He's opening up and he's uneasy with it, and I think that's hard for a lot of men. I think it's particularly hard for this guy.
He's got 3 kids, 3 different young kids that need different things, and a wife and a job and all these pressures that are sitting on top of shaky ground for him because he's already wanting to just lose it, maybe.
It's very interesting. We as an audience met this guy after he was kind of formed, and now the second season is spending a lot of time uncovering things about Jack that happened before we met him in the pilot of the show.
And impacting him in a way that probably made him choose to be a great father, made him choose to be a good guy, made him choose to look more positively toward things when possibly that positivity wasn't afforded him when he was younger.